Hello. It's that time. We're going to do another fertility hot seat. I'll let you all start to come on. And you know how it goes, right? You're going to request to join me live. Whoever wants a free 15-minute consult with me based on my almost 20 years of, what have I been doing for 20 years? Of my clinical experience for 20 years based on my best-selling books that are up there behind me, I will give you advice. It is not medical advice. It is advice based on my clinical experience and based on what I've learned working with women all over the world for the last 18 years on what they can do to get and stay pregnant, what I have learned in writing my books. I will give you advice on your case. So what you have to do here is request to join me live, and then I will choose one of you at random, and we will get into it. So I'm going to let you guys start rolling on. You just have to hit that plus button down at the bottom. You see that little video camera with a plus sign in the middle. You're going to hit that and you're going to say, I'm going to join Aimee live, and I'll bring you on and we will get to this. So I've been doing these for quite some time now, and they are a huge hit with so many women in the trying to conceive community and also so many practitioners. I get feedback from a lot of practitioners that they absolutely love watching me do this because it helps them in their diagnosis and their support of their clients, and to understand what's going on like in the current world of fertility, the latest in research on nutrition and supplements. And of course, the women in the trying to conceive community really love watching because they learn so much about themselves by hearing other women's cases. And you'll see too, there's a lot of redundancy in what I recommend, a lot of like coming back home to ourselves and how are you nourishing yourself? What are you doing to best support yourself? What tests have your doctors done for you or have not? And how to best navigate this time frame, because no matter where you are in the path, when you want something and it isn't happening for you, it's really freaking annoying, right? So I see some of you have come on and asked to join me live. So I'm going to go in and check and see. I'll give everybody else 30 more seconds. If anybody else wants to come in and be in the applicant pool of who's going to get picked to join me live today, and come on and get my non-medical but very clinical advice on your fertility case. So let's see. All right. Okay, I'm going to go with requested Michelle. Let's see. Well, at least I think you were top of the request list. I did it. I chose you. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm so good. Ready. Hold on really quick. I can't believe it. All right. One
Everybody
second.
always
I have
says
my
that.
keys.
But you asked. I mean, you might as well expect
Yeah,
to be chosen, huh?
I will, but
Someone's asking, do I do these every week? No, I do them every other Monday at this time. And yeah. Hi.
thank
Nice to meet you.
you.
You're
Nice
welcome.
to meet you. I'm going to my car because
Get
I was at
someplace
my
like
desk.
safe and comfortable. Yeah, exactly. Get someplace where we can chat and you feel comfortable doing that.
A second, but that's only because I'm moving from one Wi-Fi to the next. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
there you are. Okay. Yeah, you cut out for a second, but now here you are. I think you were
Oh,
going
great.
from like Wi-Fi to cellular data probably, and I lost you for a second. I know. You're a little frozen. Let's see. Oh, I lost her again. Oh, okay. Let's give her another, I don't know, 30 seconds to come back on. Is she frozen for everyone else or just for me? Anyone want to comment? Oh, now we lost her, but maybe she'll come back in. Hopefully she'll come back in. I'm going to give you, Michelle, if you're still watching, I'll give you, give her a sec. You're so cute. Thank you, Kiki. Michelle, just request to join me live again. Let's see that she comes back in. And then, I know I lost her. Everyone else. Okay, good. Lost her. You guys are so cute. Yeah. I might give her one more second. And then if not, I'm going to go back into the pool of people who requested and choose somebody else, but let's see. Yeah, she's gonna pop back on. I know, I agree. Let's give her a sec. She's back. Okay, she's back. There we go. Let's do this. You're back. I think you are. What's going on?
Sorry.
I can hear you, but it's so funny I don't see you. There you are.
Can you hear me now?
It's okay.
Oh,
now,
okay.
now I see you and I hear you.
Sorry, I had to move from my desk at work. And so I was like, obviously, I don't want everybody to know my business. So I had to go from one Wi-Fi to the next. But
yeah.
So yay! Oh my God, I'm so excited to finally speak to you in person. I'm 43.
Okay.
I have a 19-year-old, and I have blocked tubes.
Okay.
Apparently, they've been blocked for a really long time, but I didn't really know because I've never really tried to conceive until 3 years ago.
Okay.
I did a session with Heather Friday.
Oh, my love. Okay.
I know. And then we got disconnected towards the end, so we haven't been able to connect, but we emailed one another. So she may be on this one and she may be able to see.
Wait, and I have your case sitting right in front of me because she sent me everything. 43, FSH 8.3, AMH is beautiful, 2.6.
Yeah, I was able to get some blood work
with Dr. Murphy. Okay. Low level.
All because of you. All because of you.
Okay.
Honestly, I've been following you for a year. I did the reboot program.
Okay.
I also have done 4 rounds of IVF.
Okay.
2 of them were from a local. I live in.
Okay.
It's a little difficult to get back and forth to Dr. Murphy's office just due to the flight craziness these days, and then like obviously the pricing and so I did a mini IVF. We have 1 embryo. Apparently it's a low level mosaic. But we're still gonna, I guess, continue with going through. So after my call with Heather, I realized that I probably have a low progesterone. I kind of like self-diagnosed myself pretty much.
Why do you
because I have night sweats. She had mentioned that night sweats tend to, and then like spotting before my period.
Okay.
Like 4 days before. It was just like, after our conversation, I was like, did my night sweats start because of the medication that I was on, or did they start before? And then I was talking with my husband afterwards, and I was like, remember I woke up one day and I was like, I was so hot. And I was like, I don't know why. It was like one night after the next. So I don't know if it was during that time or before my period. I've just been noticing like in the last year and a half that I've had night sweats.
Okay. Leading up
to my period.
A fast drop in your estrogen. Sometimes it's never like when people are like, oh, it's low estrogen or low progesterone. It's usually more that they're out of balance with each other than like one low or too high, because the ratio of those together is what's really important. And so sometimes night sweats right before a period can be totally normal. Like in Chinese medicine, we say it's a sign of a little bit of heat. The spotting we'd want to look into. I know we had talked about, because Heather and I briefly talked about you, and then she sent me, I have all your notes right here, so I owe her like a recording follow-up on them. That's how we do it sometimes. And she likes my recordings because she can listen to them over and over again. So all my coaches are different. But
I've watched so many of your videos, and then on YouTube, I've noticed a significant like change in my skin since the reboot.
Okay.
I still do your liver support soup.
Okay.
Either with beef broth or with chicken broth. And I order it from the same place you recommend. And then my local market, it's called Lazy Acres, which is like almost a Whole Foods, has the same brand, and it's frozen. So I'm
Oh, the
like,
Flavor Chef
oh my
brand.
God. Yeah.
Because you're in California. Yeah, it's a
So
great brand.
yeah.
Um, so tell me this, because the one thing that I know Heather had brought up was the cost for you to get monitoring was so expensive too,
Oh, it's
right?
outrageous. It's outrageous.
So you
So,
should look in, because the one thing I told her was to look into either the UVA or the Mira, which are both costs as well. The UVA is about $100 a month, and the Mira is a little bit more of an upfront cost because you buy their little device, but then the sticks. So they're not just ovulation predictors. Like the UVA tests LH and progesterone, which would be nice.
mhm.
So you see your LH surging, so you see ovulation. I mean, obviously, if the tubes are blocked, that's like another layer that
Well,
we have.
they didn't give me like a full diagnosis. They said they were partially blocked, though, whether it's my right or my left. I didn't really thoroughly get like an analysis. We just completely jumped to IVF because I have partial blockage. And so I never did an IUI. We tried naturally for about a year and a half.
Right.
I know that prior to us getting married, we've been together 8, 9 years. But we got married, and I feel like the wedding kind of stressed me out entirely.
Okay.
It was a year of planning, but it was my daughter's senior year. It
Mm.
was, I had surgery on my knee because I tore my meniscus, thinking I could do CrossFit. And I probably should not have been doing. I wasn't looked at and doing it the right way. And I have never injured myself ever. And then, obviously, I tore my meniscus, so we had surgery. So it was all that year. We moved twice in one year. It was a headache and a half. We also um, got married, and that planning of the wedding was like, I loved my wedding, and everybody tells me till today it was like the most awesome wedding ever. But it stressed me out just because like my family couldn't afford a lot of things, and so I was kind of upfronting a lot of the bills, and so
Yeah.
it was just like a lot. Everybody's like, I want to do this and I want to do that. I was like, if you guys are paying for it, like by
Well,
all means,
right.
but like I'm the one doing this, so it was just really stressful for me. And
And that
then
was a year ago, or how long ago was that now? How many years
we
ago?
got married in November of 2019, and
Oh,
then
wow.
we didn't get to go on a honeymoon because we shut down in 2020.
Yeah.
And then just, trying to pull a teenage Miss Independent home.
Yeah.
And it's easier to keep a younger kid home, but it was
Yeah.
so hard to keep an 18-year-old at
Yeah.
home.
I can't
And
imagine.
so it was super challenging for her and me, bumping heads all the time. But we were able to get through it. And I consider myself very blessed that, my husband or I did not lose our job. So
Yeah.
therefore, we were not in that much of a hardship. But I mean, moving and doing all of these things, I
Yeah.
was just like, and I felt like I was extremely stressed out in 2019, that when we were trying in 2020, I probably never gave my body a rest.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we moved kind of further away from my job and all my friends. So I have lived next to 9 of my girlfriends for about my whole life. And then we moved further away, and it's like 45 minutes away, but everything's all relative in LA. So 45 minutes at midnight, it's like, great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not during the day. It's like
No,
a little harder to
two
get to.
hours.
So I felt really isolated. I was working from home. I hated working from home. And then, um, families were fighting. So I just felt like I was really stressed out. So we were trying, and I was
Yeah.
just really like, and then just so many people around me were getting pregnant. My husband is younger than me. My husband
Okay.
is a triplet,
Okay.
and a natural born triplet.
Wow.
And his identical brother now has 2 kids. And so he's 30, I think he just turned 37.
Right.
So we're
E-
wanting a baby. He
Yeah.
doesn't have a baby. He has no idea what it's like to have a child. So I want to do it. I mean, ultimately we don't want triplets, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's God's plan. So I'm working with Dr. Murphy. It's been challenging just due to the fact that I don't live in that state. And so we're in
Yeah.
a 3 hour delay
And
in
I know Murphy has
communications.
been using the Mira, so I'll have Heather send
Okay.
you information on it. But check it out, it's Mira.com for all you guys too. It's at home, and what's nice about it's I like the UVA a lot too. Mira does also do estrogen, which is nice too. So you get estrogen, LH, and progesterone, and so Murray has had a couple clients where the monitoring is super difficult. So he's
Yeah.
using that data. He either uses the UVA or the Mirror, depending on where they are.
Hmm.
And it's a lot less expensive than like $900 every time. Like you wouldn't even spend that for 3 months of maybe 4 months of these
Yeah.
testing at home where you could get a lot of details. And it's nice for us, especially if you continue to coach with us. Like I maybe you did one session with Heather, but that we can kind of like really look at the data. And then I would think about if you're partially blocked, then like of course continuing with the diet and like the protocol that laid out in the fertility reboot, also
Yeah.
in the egg quality diet, but getting acupuncture if you can get. I also, since you are working with my team, we can also get you're on herbs here, evergreen phases 1, 2, 3. I took those for almost
Well,
2 years,
I
right?
don't take those.
Anymore, right?
I was taking when we were trying naturally, and then I stopped taking them
Yeah.
because I really wasn't under any type of like supervision. So I really didn't know. Like I was reading about them, and it's like, don't take this at this time. Don't take this. I was like, I don't even know if I'm
Yeah,
doing it
I
right.
don't like any of
So
the online herbs. It's like you
yeah,
really need to see an herbalist and get a
yeah.
proper diagnosis and a proper
So
formula. So and we could do that. But I would think about things of like you could do the castor oil packs, you could do the gua sha just to open things up. We could find like a Mayan massage therapist, even if it was once a month. But that stuff's not going to hurt, even if you're doing IVF, because it's
hmm,
improving blood circulation to the ovaries, which will help with quality.
yep.
Like we know if we improve blood flow, we're
Hmm.
going to improve quality. So to think about it from that perspective, but then also if they're not totally blocked, it might shift things in the direction that this could happen on its own as well.
I know. I'm hoping for that. For whatever reason, feel like I've gotten a little bit more cervical mucus throughout the diet.
Okay,
So before it
that's
was like
good. So your skin
very
got better,
little. So now,
cervical mucus.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I
What
didn't
else
have a lot
improved?
of
Yeah.
kinks. I didn't have a lot of
Okay.
kinks other than, skin irritation and what was it? Night sweats. And
Night sweats,
then,
strong appetite, stomach ache. Right. Okay.
yeah,
I
so I
see.
took
Yeah.
gluten and dairy completely out of my diet, and I
I saw
feel
that.
so much better.
That's amazing.
I didn't realize it was causing so much irritation until you take it out for 3 months and then you put it back in. Horrible, horrible feeling. So then now I pretty much follow like fish, protein. I know that now I was not eating enough protein.
Right.
When you were like a hand fist or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
full, I was like, oh, I was like forced to do it. And then you
Yeah.
just feel better. I felt better
Good.
with a higher protein diet. So, or at least on a higher quality meat diet. So
Good.
we really tried. My husband, for some whatever reason, the weight kind of sheds off of him really
Yeah.
fast. But to
Yeah.
me, I'm 5'3", so it's like kind of hard. I'm a little shorter, but I'm not overweight. I do love to work out. I love to spin. I love to jog, walk.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I try to do 10,000 steps every day.
Good.
Um, we we both do it as a we, or sometimes he'll go independently to a gym because now the gyms are open. But I'm trying to think of other things that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. The aspirin post transfer, and I would even say
Mhm.
if you're trying naturally, right? Because you do have a clotting factor issue, or no?
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I think she recommended it just because I'm over 40, that
Yeah.
to talk with Dr. Murphy about the aspirin.
Yeah. And he would do
So
that. He would
I
recommend that.
just did my monitoring to transfer the low level mosaic because that's all we have is one.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have a low ovarian reserve. I
No,
usually
you.
have about 18
Yeah.
to like 9 is like my lowest I think I've had.
Okay.
Throughout the 4 times I've done it, it's always been like 12, 18, 9. And then out of those, for some whatever reason, I always get 6
Okay.
embryos out of the follicles that they retrieved. And then from there, they get tested and they come back abnormal. So
Okay.
clearly, I didn't know anything about like low level mosaic until recently.
Right.
And then I had 2 low level and a high level mosaic in October of 2021, and I discarded
Okay.
them,
Okay.
not knowing,
Uh-huh.
what this all meant. So my husband and I have done a bunch of genetic testing ourselves, like the $250 one and $250 one. We're
Right.
both not carriers of the same type of genetics
Okay.
diseases, so that was good. I think my what I would like to take away from this is like,
Yeah.
what do I do to help the
Quality.
like the quality of the embryos? Should I do another egg retrieval? And then what can I do to increase my chances for the transfer to stick?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think about like if you finish the egg quality diet, staying in phase 3, notice your skin has improved hair and nails. I would stay there on the diet, right?
Hmm.
In the lead up to this transfer, which we're considering doing what at the this
Uh,
month.
well, I probably the middle of this month, August.
So I
They
would do
said around
castor
the
oil pack.
13 to 15
I would do castor oil packs every single day.
every day. Okay.
I would get baby aspirin. You can talk to Dr. Murphy about the baby aspirin in the with the transfer. He's totally going to agree. I see your supplements right here, and I
It's
agree with all.
everything
Uh-huh.
you recommended.
Cod
And
liver, ovasitol, the NAD, probiotic, CoQ10, the DHEA. You don't really need to be on, especially with your AMH. I wouldn't even take the
okay.
DHEA personally.
Okay.
Um, the spirulina is good. You're going to alternate that with your prenatal, which Heather's going to tell you to do. And then the vitamin D, we were just wanted to check on the brand to make sure it was soy free.
Yeah, the
I'm sure it
vitamin
is.
D is the one
Yeah.
that you recommended that came
Yeah.
in a bag, and it says B12 and like vitamin D. I have told so many people. So trying to conceive, you had said you should be in a range between 50 and 70 on one of your other YouTubes
Hmm.
that I watched, and I was a 25 and a 28 on 2 lab, and so I told my previous doctor, I said, how did you not see this? I should be higher. She goes, well, what are you taking? I was like, I'm taking this vitamin D. And then it was soy based. And I
Yeah.
was like, well,
Absorb
obviously. So it's
it.
just
Hmm.
like that one on one attention to those specific details. That's one
Yeah.
reason why I jumped.
Yeah.
And I asked her if I should do a lower protocol as far as like a mini IVF. I was like, because I feel like the higher stimulation, the
Meds.
less of my quality that I
Yeah.
had. So I had low level and a high level mosaic the first time when I had lower stimulation. And then the next time she jumped it up. And you just feel like you're a guinea pig because I was just like, you want me to go higher on Menopur and higher on like all
Yeah.
these things. So I was just like, oh, I did it because clearly I'm not the doctor. But I didn't, I got all of them were abnormal that time. So then I said, you know what? My vitamin D levels are still the same. And that's when I started, going, I'm going to book a session. I tried booking a acupuncture session in person while I was there because I extended my
Oh,
visit,
yeah.
but it just didn't work out with one of the other ladies.
Okay.
And clearly I can't afford you, but I got another associate, but it was, it just didn't work out. And during the time frame I was there for a week. The other time the last time I went, I was literally there less than 24 hours. I went in
Oh,
PRP.
okay.
I mean, I did my egg retrieval and I literally got on a flight that day at
Okay.
2 p.m. and came home. So it was like a struggle. I was probably never do that again. But,
But
you
can you
know,
do acupuncture where you are in the lead up to transfer? Like once a week?
Um, yes, I've
Okay.
seeked out one guy that I really like, and Heather said he does a little more of an intense acupuncture because he uses a larger gauge and he tends to dig them in. And I was like, oh, it's a little painful, but I was like, if it works, it works. I'll do it. But he went to China and he's supposed to be back this past month, but I haven't
Okay.
gotten a hold of him yet. So I was doing him once a week, but then he left to China and
Okay.
he's supposed to come back. So as soon as I hear back from him, I'm going to make my appointments once a week. Is that
Good.
what you recommend, once a
Yeah,
week or?
what I recommend. I'm
Okay.
writing these things in my email back to Heather too. So since you're coaching with Heather or just did your initial and I still owe her the follow up on your case, I'll
Okay.
I'll I'll let her know that you and I talked and then we can tweak things. But like I would stay on the supplements, I would drop the DHEA,
Okay.
acupuncture once a week, castor oil packs
Every
leading
night.
up to transfer. If you can do them
Mm-hmm.
daily, great. If not, like 5 days a week, I think would be really helpful.
Okay.
Um, Stay on the diet.
As far
And
as like
then
workout, do you think I should work out just like 30 minutes or an hour of a good sweat?
30 minutes,
30 minutes. Okay.
5 days a week. Yeah.
Okay.
And once we transfer, I think you keep it at that. Keep it at that, even with transfer. Um, and then we see how things go. Obviously, dreams do come true. You could get pregnant with this baby. It could be a healthy baby, and that's like we take this home. And then if not, then we I think consider another retrieval, right? That's where
Mm-hmm.
we go, and then we would just kind of like
Yeah.
reassess from there. But I wouldn't change much, even if that were the case. Like I would just it's usually consistency and frequency, and I see that like and you've heard
Mm-hmm.
me say this kind of like the older we get, it's like almost like the longer amount of time it takes to really have the impact, and it's like
Yeah.
um but we keep those mosaics. We don't get rid of any more of those. And I don't think you need to invest in no need for Mira or Uva right now because we're
Okay.
going into this transfer. But
Mm-hmm.
that's that's something to consider if this doesn't take, right?
Yeah. In the future, I mean, even going to like Beverly Hills, which is so like tainted of like knowing that, or just that they're so expensive, they were so much cheaper. It was like $400 for an outside monitoring. But for whatever reason, right here next to my job, it's like so expensive. And the doctor's just so rude. She's like, I'm just a technician. I'm not a doctor for you. And I'm like, okay. I was like, but you are a doctor and you are an IVF. You know, you see patients. Like, if I were your patient, is this how you would treat me? Like,
Yeah.
and so it was just the quality of service and like the
Yeah.
zero empathy and zero compassion that I've received from these outside monitoring clinics. It's just, it's mind blowing. Like, I
And
just
does
don't even know
Murphy
how
have any
people.
recommendations for you for monitoring out there? I wonder if he's got I feel like he has
Um,
somebody he knows in LA that
I don't think I've asked him for outside monitoring yet, but my gynecologist actually does monitoring. It just so happened that he was on vacation. The
okay.
timing of like my last egg retrieval, literally everything was around like I started my period
Okay.
the Friday of Independence
July.
Day, July 4th.
Right.
So to monitor on a Saturday or Sunday or a Monday, it was nearly impossible. It's
Wow.
a
Okay.
lot of clinics don't open up Saturdays for non-patients.
Right.
So it was so extremely hard. So I ended up doing it on Tuesday. I don't know if that made any difference, how long
Yeah.
these breaks were. And then finally I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight to New York and do my
Oh,
last monitoring there.
yeah.
And then they ended up I ended up ovulating. I'm not ovulating, but like maturing my eggs faster than he had anticipated even with the lower dosage of medications.
Okay.
So he just said sometimes you just never know how your body's going to react.
Yeah.
So I had really big follicles considering they want between 18, 21, 24.
Yeah. And they were
They
like
were
30.
like
Right.
all
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, what does that mean? I don't understand. Why are they so big? But I didn't like hyper or
OHS.
yeah, I didn't do any of that. So I just felt like it was normal, like a normal, well, at least the ones that I've had in the past. So
So
just,
maybe though we think about like let's break this into segments too of like okay let's do this transfer and maybe and your gyno can support you once post transfer say we get
mhm.
pregnant, right and then if not I think we go to some of these at home testing and we just go in like when absolutely necessary
He
for
wants ultrasounds during outside monitoring. It's usually 3 before egg
Right.
retrieval
True.
or before. He said maybe 4 ultrasounds
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
transfer. So
So, and
that's,
maybe your gyno could do those, but
mhm.
let's, yeah, okay. Um, okay, so what I'm gonna do, only because the effort essence of time, too,
Yeah,
I have to end on you. I'm sorry.
I know. I
Um,
know. Thank you. I
but
appreciate your
I have
time.
this email that I owe Heather anyway. She's on my like list literally. And this is what I was gonna do when I hung
Yeah,
up
we
with my
did
hot
it.
seat today. So you and I are here right now together, which is great. And so
Hmm.
I'll send a follow up, and then obviously you're gonna keep, you know, you'll keep us posted because you are coaching with my team on how all things are going down. But I would definitely just like the acupuncture, the castor oil packs, keep your supplements the same, stay on the diet, you know, the exercise like 30 minutes, 5, maybe, you know, to 7 days a week, drop the
Okay.
DHEA. And then let's see how this transfer goes. And then we kind of reassess from there. Okay.
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 Thank you
And
so
there is
much.
research. I'm going to show you some research on the mosaics too, because I know you had asked Heather, and I
Okay.
have some research I'll show you. But I've seen a lot of success with transferring of mosaics. So,
Yeah.
what
She said
Dr.
the same.
Marco, who works with Murray, has said to me, he's like, if they implant, there's a very good chance we take them home when they're healthy babies. So know that too, of like, it's the implantation that is kind of the barrier to entry is, and if that happens, then there's like, I think it's a, you know, 50% chance that we're gonna take home healthy baby, which is a high percentage, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Okay. All right.
mean, it's
Okay. Thank
all like,
you.
thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And
You
I'll
guys
talk to you
take
soon.
care.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.